once thought all it took was a great idea to start a business, but I was wrong. It wasn't until I mastered these seven skills that my business began to grow. So today, I'm going to be giving you those 7 skills. Hello, everyone. My name is Ben Rollins, one of them. Thank you for tuning in to this episode. This channel have been dedicated towards improving you on every aspect and every walks of life. But today, and from henceforth, we're dedicating our attention towards building aspiring leaders and business entrepreneurs in Africa, because we believe that Africa is the future of business. So we're going to be educating and sharing our experiences and ideas with aspiring leaders and leaders or entrepreneurs in Africa, because we believe that together we can build something better for our future. And we got to share ideas and we got to start working together as partners. So the purpose of this video is to educate and inspire an entrepreneur or an aspiring leader to, one, master the skill set needed in the business venture. Today's video, we're going to be talking about 7 skill set that every African entrepreneur must master. So the first skill set, we're going to go through the 7 skill set now. The first skill set is find a problem to solve. So as an entrepreneur or a business owner, you have to be thinking about problems and finding solutions. It's not all about thinking only about the product. You just get a product, but you don't have the market fit. You're not solving the problem. It does not go a long way. But if you're solving a problem, for example, let's say, okay, where you live right now, maybe in Accra, Ghana, Lagos, Nigeria, Pretoria, South Africa, Douala, Cameroon, Nairobi, Kenya, wherever you live in Africa, and let's just say, for example, there is shortage of eggs. I'm just going to say eggs because a lot of us eat eggs for breakfast. So you discover that there's shortage of eggs. Oh, that's a problem. So you as an entrepreneur, you found the problem. Now, that's a problem. So what you got to do is you cannot just look at the problem without finding a solution. Yeah, there's shortage of eggs, there's scarcity. What can you do to ensure that, this problem, I can be of help. I can find a solution and ease some of the burden that people are facing on a daily basis. If you want to open a poultry farm, good. But if you're opening a poultry farm, you're opening a poultry farm with the purpose of serving that jurisdiction or your community or your city or however you want to call it. But you identify, that's a problem, and then you try to find a solution. As entrepreneurs, we have to always be thinking about, what is the solution to the problem? That's business. Every problem is a business. Businesses are all around us. We just got to change our thinking. We got to change our mindset. I'm going to realize that, I've been missing out on a lot of opportunities because A lot of times when I see problems, I complain. When I see problem, I lose focus. I'm like, oh, I don't know what is going on here. But when you see a problem and you try to find a solution, then a business is born. We have to start thinking about every problem is a business. That's a mentality and a mindset you got to be thinking about. And it's going to be of great help to you as an entrepreneur. Especially in Africa, we have a lot of problems around, and the government cannot handle every problem. They can't solve every problem. We, as business leaders, as entrepreneurs, got to think about the solutions to some of the problems people are facing on a daily basis. Because if you don't think about those problems, you won't find a solution. And it's not just sitting and talking about it, but finding a solution that actually works, and you test it. And then the next thing is creating a business plan. Creating a business plan is very important. It's like going somewhere. Like if you have a destination in mind, and then using the GPS to go. Let's just say you want to go to the nearest airport to pick up someone, right? You use your GPS for direction. So a business plan is a direction towards attaining the purpose that you have in mind. So it's a guiding vision. That's a business plan. So what you're going to write down might not be what you might end up with. Sometimes some people might write something, but the market change, things change, and they're so scared to change. They're scared of change. And as a business leader, you got to understand that change is constant. The fact that you're going to the airport and there is a detour, there's a construction in the route that you want to take, does not mean you're not going to get to the airport. You're going to reroute. The GPS will reroute and find different routes that will take you to your destination. So because there's a detour, there's a road construction in the route you want to take, doesn't mean you're not going to get to your destination. You might take another route to get to the destination. So when you have a business plan, you should be thinking about the end goal, the destination, where you're heading to. So plans may change, but the goal will not. The vision should not change. So how you get there might change. So you have to know as an entrepreneur that things change, and you have to be flexible, but the goal should be the same. The vision should be the same. The destination should be the same. But how you get there might change, and you might have obstacles. Those challenges might arise, and the fact that those challenges arise does not mean that, you just gotta fold your hands and sit because you have a business plan. It's not all about writing 500 pages. No, it's about having something strategic and following it. And if it does not work, tweak it and find something that works. Adapt, be flexible, because everything changes every now and then. Like what you might have 1 week from now might be obsolete. And you, as a business leader, as an entrepreneur, you cannot just sit and fold your hand and say, it's obsolete, and I'm just going to keep doing the same thing. Come on now. We have to adapt, and we got to be flexible, but have the destination in mind and stay focused. The next thing is be a visionary leader. Be a visionary leader. As an entrepreneur, you have to think about the people, serving the people, not being the boss. Because sometimes people think, because I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a business leader, I'm a boss. And what you fail to understand is that you got to serve the people you work with. You got to serve your potential customer. You have to be of service, and you got to believe in the future that business. You got to believe. You have to be so crazy that people find you weird because they don't believe that you believe in whatever idea you're putting forward. They will think that you're going crazy for your idea and for the solution to the problem that you found. You have to believe, because you have to be a believer. If you don't believe, how are you going to sell that vision to somebody? How are you going to sell that vision? Once you believe, you want to understand that, oh, I'm a leader. I'm not a boss. I have to serve. I have to be of service, because bosses command people. As a leader, you have to serve by bringing the vision and letting everybody know their role to play in the vision. Everybody will not play the same role. But if you are a leader and you don't understand that, oh, everybody got a role to play, it's going to be hard for you to communicate that effectively to your team. So you have to be a visionary. You have to know that you're serving the people, and you have to understand the product, understand the solution, understand how to relate to people, to communicate, share your pass your message across. It's very important to know that I'm not a boss, I'm a servant to the people. Once you have that mindset, it changes everything, because you're not commanding, but you're of service. And when you put yourself to serve the people, you get to another level that you cannot even believe it. And the fourth skill set is build a strong team. You cannot do it by yourself. For example, if you're good at marketing, you're great at marketing, you have to find someone who is great at finance. Find someone, build a team. If you're not good at finance, don't say, oh, because you're the business owner, you started this business, you're just going to do finance, you're going to do marketing, you're going to do everything. So when you're starting, you can wear those multiple hats, but as you're wearing everything, doing everything with the purpose, with the intention, hey, I'm trying to build a system in place. Because what I realize is that most of our African businesses, we don't build a system, and we are not really business owners. We are self-employed, and that's why when we travel, the business cannot do without us. We have to be there because we are the business. But when you build a team, you build a system, you build a structure where the business can operate without you being there. Once you build a team, you empower your team to do what is necessary to understand and take their skill set to another level. And you work with your strengths and weaknesses. Try to find the strength of your team, your teammates, and then work together as a solid unit towards putting the vision of the company first. And everybody got to take ownership of that vision. They got to be owners of the vision. They believe it like you do. And if you can't sell that vision to them, how would they believe it? So you have to understand that building a team is very important. Even if you start doing everything, your goal is like, hey, I'm doing everything right now because I don't have an opportunity to get somebody. But as soon as that opening arises or comes, I'm going to get people who are going to complement me, going to add to what I would try to push this vision and build a solid unit. That's what is going to make you great. And once you have believers, a set of believers, boy, oh boy, it takes it to another level. And that's what you need. You need believers. You don't just need to get anybody because they need a job. You're getting believers. People who believe in the vision. They believe that this is going to bring an impact in a lot of people's lives. It's not just a product. It's not just a solution. But it's a service. It's something that's going to create an impact to someone's life. And it's great because once you build a team and you build a team of believers, it takes to another level. But if you want to do it by yourself, it's going to be hard. I'm not saying you cannot do it by yourself. You can do it by yourself, but it's going to be hard. But when you have believers, it takes it to another level. And the next thing is understand and serve your customers. You got to be customer centric. There's one thing that a lot of African brothers and sisters neglect. They don't really understand their customers and they don't serve their customers. I've been to a bunch of African stores here in the United States, and when you go to the African stores, the customer service is poor. They just believe that you're going to come there and buy because you're an African brother and you want to maintain the African diet. That's not how it should be. The employees got to serve their customers, because at the end of the day, your customer is the one funding that business. If no one is buying your product, if no one is buying your service, you're going to go out of business. You might have the best business plan in the world. You might have the best team in the world. You might find the best solution in the world. But if you don't serve your customer, and your customer decides not to invest in your business, buy your product, buy your service, you're going to run out of business and you're going to be bankrupt. And whatever solution you found, whatever team you built, whatever idea you had is going to be gone, no matter how good your business plan is. So we have to serve the customer, no matter how, like when a customer comes to your store and a smile is going to go a long way. How you doing, man? What can I offer you? What do you need? Oh, how may I be of help to you? Do you want to get some milk? If you go to aisle 5, you're going to find it over there. Be of service. And you got to train your employees, your teammates to serve, because that's how you grow. If you're not serving your customer, at the end of the day, they're not going to feel comfortable, and they're not going to feel like you value them. And once your customer feel like you don't value them, they're going to go buy from someone else, because there are options. Nowadays, it's not like maybe 30 years ago where it's only maybe there might be only one store in a city or in a community. Now, oh God, every corner you go, every angle, there is a store. There's a business owner. So you're competing with a lot of business owners, a lot of entrepreneurs. So what makes you different? What makes you different? You got to think about the customer. Think about the customer. The customer is your boss. You're employed by the customer. So you got to respect the customer. And the next thing you got to understand is selling keeps you in business. A lot of entrepreneurs think, oh, I got to find a solution to a problem. I have an idea. I create a solid business plan. I'm a visionary leader. I build a strong team. But they cannot sell. You have to sell. selling is one of the most important skill that you have to master if you want to be a successful entrepreneur. You have to learn how to sell. I remember when I was doing door-to-door sales. It was so brutal, like so brutal. You're gonna knock at people's door, and when someone comes out not interested, slam the door in your face. You're like, God damn, they don't even want to hear what you have to say. And you move from door to door with enthusiasm, without losing enthusiasm. And you might knock at 100 doors, and everybody says no. They slam at you, slam the door at you, and then you find maybe one or two customers who are going to be great for you, and they're going to buy your product or your service, and that day is going to be a great day. But some days, the whole day, you get nothing. No, all day. And then maybe 2 days after, you get yes, and you sell products. And sometimes, maybe on Monday, nothing. Tuesday, nothing. On Wednesday, the first door you knock saves. The second door you knock saves. The third door you knock saves. Why? Because all those rejection, all those no's prepares you to become a better salesperson. And you adjust your pitch to make it better. You adjust your demeanor. Like, oh, if you slam the door in your face, you smile. Thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate you. You move on. You don't take it as nothing, because trust me, sometimes, oh boy, it is depressing. It is depressing. Like, to be rejected, man, nobody want to feel that way. Nobody want to feel that way. But once you take it as, oh, now, I'm just here to hit the number. I'm just here to serve you. You might not see it now. I'm not just selling a product, but I'm selling a solution to a problem that you're currently facing right now. When you look at it from that angle, you're like, nah, you don't see the value right now. There's someone who sees the value. I'm looking for that person. Let me go find that person. Thank you very much for your time. On to the next. That's how you go, with enthusiasm. And you got to sell. Selling, it's very important. If you don't sell, you're going to run out of business. So, serving the customer and selling. Serving the customer and selling. If you don't serve the customer, you're going to run out of business. These are some of the most important things an entrepreneur got to be thinking. An African entrepreneur, you have to think, I have to sell. I have to learn, master the skill, the art of selling. Understand that I'm not just selling a product, but I'm selling a solution to a problem that someone currently faces. This is a solution. This is not just a product. It's going to be of help to you. And you might not know right now, but here's a breakdown of some of the cons or pros of this thing. And boom, you sell. You gotta sell. If you don't sell, you're gonna run out of business. And think big. African entrepreneur, we don't think big. We just think about buying and selling. And that's where we end. We have engineers. Our engineers gotta be thinking about solving problems and manufacturing. We have to manufacture at a large scale. Why not have a big company like Google in Africa? Why not? And I'm so glad that M-Pesa, or mobile money, started in Kenya, because that should give every African youth hope that we can do something great, because that technology, it's phenomenal, and it solves the real life issue in Africa. A lot of African youths, not only youths, but the entire population, I can say more than 40% of the African population is unbanked. They don't have a bank account, but they have mobile money account, because those folks in Kenya found a solution to the problem, the banking problem. People don't trust the bank for some reason, or they don't have access to banking for some weird reason. So they feel the void left by the banks. And now it is a thriving business. Everywhere you go in Africa, you're gonna see a mobile money kiosk. People are mobile money agents, and they're making a living out of it. So we have to think big. We can create billions. We can create $1 billion company. We can create $100 billion company. We can create $1 trillion company. We have to think big. We gotta believe that we can do it. If an American can do it, an African can do it too. If an Asian can do it, an African can do it too. If a European can do it, an African can do it. Let's believe in ourselves. We can do it. See you in the next episode. I hope you get value from this episode. We're going to improve every single day. So the next video and the next episode is going to be the next one. This is just the first one. Thank you very much for tuning in for today's episode. See you in the next episode. Let's know what you think about this 7 skill set every African entrepreneur must master. Did you learn anything today? Do you have any question about this? Do you have any question about the African landscape, business, entrepreneurship? Write in the comment section. I'm going to check it out. And you'll never know, the next video might be your question that we